Hi, welcome to another edition of the Gray Area. So a lot to get to this week. First of all, we'll start with AirProducts. They pulled out of building their $650 million green hydrogen plant in Massena. We're well aware of that. I just wanted to say that is based on federal policy from long before this administration. It is the tax credit was one of the driving factors behind it. That does not consider hydro to be renewable energy on the federal level. New York State considers it renewable energy. The federal level for this tax credit does not. It also requires a state to have a cap and invest policy. We do not have a cap and invest policy. So in order to make that a viable project, we have to have that changed at the federal level. And there's other things to consider there. There has been some movement on their board of directors, and their CEO has been replaced. So I would imagine the issues are a little broader than just that specific issue that's affecting this, because they canceled 3 other projects. So it's important. We will keep working on it. It's very unfortunate news for St. Lawrence County, and especially for the Massena area. The project's well underway and has halted. So we will continue to address that and continue to work on that, and hopefully see if there's any other purpose for that site. The second issue that we want to talk about is the obvious issue that we've been working on for over a week now, which is the work stoppage with the COs, or the corrections officers in our New York State prisons. And I have said this is not necessarily a strike, because they're not looking for contractual issues. They're looking to correct policy issues that have been imposed on them unilaterally, either by the legislature or administratively by the agency. They're really concerned about safety, and safety is twofold. They're concerned about the HALT Act, which reduces or eliminates their disciplinary procedures in prisons. So not only is that dangerous for COs, it's dangerous for civilians, it's dangerous for whether that be PEF or CSEA, it's also dangerous for the inmates. So they're increasingly weaponizing themselves out of self-preservation. So the other thing is drugs. So there's an increased amount of drugs that are entering these facilities in a number of different ways, through packages, through visitors, and through mail. That is really dangerous to officers, and we've seen a lot of exposure incidents when officers have been taken to local hospitals. So let's go through some of the solutions for some of these issues that are facing the corrections officers. So a reversal of the HALT Act. There is probably not the legislative fortitude to do that. That is no reflection on us, whether we support the repeal of the HALT Act. It is just a matter of understanding the legislature is not prepared to do that right now. There's 213 of us. We need the majority of the legislators to be on board on that. So what we can do is amend it. And there's a specific paragraph in there that has segregated confinement only pursuant to a evidentiary hearing. So what we are proposing and what we have communicated is that there should be immediate segregation that is in the best interest of the inmate in terms of removing them from general population in the prison. The 70 is the new 100. That's 70% is the new 100% staffing level. That memo we've asked us to be completely disregarded. We think that we'll get some movement on that. There are a couple of items in their list of concerns that were contractual. They have to be deferred until future contract negotiations. Secured vendor, this is a way to prohibit drugs from entering the facilities. Obviously, they should all be name brand, and probably big box retailers that have the ability to ship direct to the prisons, and that way there's some security there. So there's a lot of manipulation of vendor statuses out there. Mail is another thing. They have tablets. They have the capability of communicating electronically. There's no need for paper, not even legal paper. There are fictitious law firms, letterheads that are being generated, saturated in drugs, and then sent in. At the minimum, all mail should be scanned if it is paper, but we think that it should go all electronic, and there's a charge for that right now. We're suggesting that should be free. So The officer's safety is more important than any revenue they're getting from, text messaging on the tablets. Body scanners, most of the facilities have them. They should all be mandatory utilization. Right now, there's exemptions for them. Visitors can opt out of them, things like that. So should be mandatory body scanners. We invest a lot of money in work zone safety for our DOT employees. We have multitude of cameras, multitude of mechanisms to make sure drivers are reducing speeds in there. This is the similar situation. It's a matter of protecting our staff and our facilities, and body scanners should be mandated and should be in all facilities if they're not already. There is consideration for additional staffing. We think there should be some incentive for bringing back retirees onto a call list that instead of somebody having to work 16 or 24 hours a day, that there's a call list of retirees, and we should incentivize their pay for on the moment call list. You got to come in and cover for somebody. So we think that's one way of solving that. Hiring incentives is another way of solving that. Certainly no prison closures. We think that was a wrong-headed move. That doesn't do anything for recruiting staff, and a maximum length of time that an employee can work. So double shift, that's it. 16 hours, that's it. So those are some of the solutions. The governor said the other day that she doesn't know what the issues are. Here are the issues and here are solutions. Long list of visitors in again this week. So we had New York State Academy of Family Physicians, St. Lawrence County Renewal House, NYSEC, that's New York State Association of Counties, New York Aviation Management, all the local airports, UUP, those are college professors, Pharmacist Society of New York State, Advocacy for Supporting Rare Disease. We had community college advocates, we had Park Advocacy Day, we had New York State School Facilities, and then Fire Prevention Council. Those are the ambassadors from the Redwood Fire Department, all students. We took them on a tour of the Capitol, and Heaney's, which is healthcare. So it was a good week in Albany, another busy one. We'll continue to keep you posted as the budget continues to move forward. As always, it's an honor and a privilege to serve you in Albany.